Hi, anyone and everyone. This is Kim, the Humble Hermit from Come As You Are Oracle. I'm going to do the collective tarot for today. Today is Tuesday. It is June 16th, 2026. You may follow me on the Talk the Tube, my blog, or not. Totally up to you. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. If it doesn't fit, don't make it fit. If some of it fits, God's kiss. We love that for you. Whatever doesn't, leave it on the table for someone else. You don't need to take on energy that wasn't meant for you. We're going to use the Neon Tarot by Hattie Thorne. You can find this at hattiethorne.com. You can find it in her Etsy shop. Everybody having a good day? A good day, mate? We got one on the table. Two on the table. Three on the table. No major, no reverse. Somebody went in the wrong direction. Somebody went towards the wrong person, that's for sure. Four on the table, no major. No reverse. Five on the table. Six on the table. We're going to do two more shuffles. I think this is kind of going with... Was it the reading yesterday? I think it was the Oracle reading yesterday. The collective. Two more shuffles. Last shuffle. Seven on the table. Eight. Eight with bottom of the deck, and we finally got a major. Top of the deck is Five of Pentacles and the High Priestess. All right, let me show you what we got here. We got Ace of Cups, Nine of Swords, King of Wands, Ten of Cups. We got the Eight of Wands, the Queen of Pentacles, Page of Swords, and bottom of the deck is the World. Feminine, masculine, take how it resonates. So the reading yesterday was kind of about, I think it was like somebody coming in for conversation, but they were basically going to be told off because somebody was healing and moving on. And I think I said to show a little mercy, show a little grace, because not everybody comes back to apologize. Not everybody comes back to say, I'm sorry, I do love you, blah, blah, blah. Most people don't do that. They don't have the balls. They don't have the cojones. This kind of reminds me of that a little bit. I feel like somebody opened up their heart to the wrong person. And I feel like whoever this is that opened up their heart, they feel like, yeah, I made a giant mistake. But I think they feel like it's altered their life in some way. Listen, the only way it's altered your life is hopefully made your intuition better, hopefully made your perception better. because according to these cards, like, yeah, someone might have looked at this as like I chose the wrong person, I couldn't make a relationship work, blah blah blah. But in reality, everything is a lesson, right? Everything is a lesson. Everything is meant to teach us something, and everything is meant to propel you to the next level of healing. And I think with the King of Wands, the Ten of Cups, the Eight of Wands, like that's exactly what this is. The Queen of Pentacles, like somebody's going to go towards their money. Somebody's going to work on their money. Whether you have a 9 to 5, whether you have your own business, whether you have a couple of jobs, whatever the case. Like somebody's going to transmute that negative energy that came out of a failed relationship, right? And they're going to turn that into a positive for themselves. With the Page of Swords and the World card, I think this is just saying this cycle's complete. Like God looked at this situation, casted judgment, doled out karma. Somebody learning from this and moving on and excelling in their own life, that's karma. People call good karma dharma. I just call it karma. It's like the cycle's over and somebody's moving on. The song September by Daughtry, maybe listen to that. It's a really good song. Sorry, my nose is a little stuffy and like whistling. I don't know why I'm getting this, but if some of you are on the fence about this reading, like if you're watching this reading and you're in a fairly new connection, um, I guess check yourself, check your status, check your person. Because it's something about if people are currently in this, like some people might not have an intuition, an inkling that this is going on, and it's just going to hit them bam, like one day, somebody comes home and sees their spouse with another person in their bed or something. Like it's giving like this could still happen for a few people. Like I don't know how to explain it. And I hate to say that, but at the same time, like, and not to sound like an asshole, because I believe in love and I believe in soulmates and all that jazz. But haven't we all experienced, shitty relationships, quote unquote failures? I mean, I don't really look at them as failures, but pardon me. Okay, tell me. I don't know how this is going to resonate, but um I was picturing being at work and I was picturing being at a station. Doesn't matter, pick packing, doesn't matter. They all have their goods and their bads, right? And I was just picturing like a station malfunctioning and maintenance having to be called. And when maintenance came up, like they wanted to give me a hard time on whatever wasn't working. And I think if somebody experiences that this week, somebody is being called to just move on from a situation. I don't know where this is coming from. Um I had some issues with my pack station at work yesterday. The bubble maker wasn't working, so I couldn't put bubble in the pack. I mean, I could put bubble in the packages, but it wasn't bubbled. Like it was just flat. And then I had an issue with my printer, and finally I just got sick of trying to reboot it and getting it to print that I just turned it off and left it because I'm like, this is ridiculous. Um Somebody might be going through like technical issues, maybe at work or at home, something like that. Someone's being called to like maybe this is for me. Maybe this is for me with YouTube because I have such a problem uploading videos for YouTube like the last couple weeks. Maybe this is God telling me, "Hey, when you have that issue, just get up and leave the room. Don't be bitching and whining while you're there." Sorry, it's frustrating. I don't know. Take how that resonates. Like that didn't have anything to do with the read, but I was picking up on that like nobody's business. Hmm. Hmm. Something about holding your boundaries. Like I heard it like two or three times, but I didn't really see anything. there, for some of you, this person that like you had the open heart with, that the relationship failed or whatever, they could possibly come back with the Five of Pentacles, the High Priestess at the top of the deck. At the bottom, Hattie Thorne wrote, "Loss report, access denied." So, like, somebody could come back around, and somebody could need to hold to their boundaries and tell them to kick rocks. It's really just for your own good, you know? Something about a parent lying to a kid. I don't know if you're the parent that lied to the kid or you were the kid and your parent lied to you. Something about like telling their kid that like if they do chores, household chores and stuff like that, like they'll get them a dog, a cat, a bird, whatever the pet is. And then the kid does it and the parent's like, "Oh no, like, like we can't do that. We can't have that here, blah blah blah." Something about lying to a kid about a pet, like not being able to have it after they were told, "Oh, you can have it if you do this." I don't know. I don't know. I'm sure that happens to every kid, right? I don't know. I had a parent that we went to an old, I think I've told this story before. We went to an old pet shop in downtown Waukegan, Illinois, called Chip's Pet Shop when I was a kid, and we got a cat, a black and white cat, and we named him Chip. And when we got him, he was a cat. Like he wasn't a kitten anymore. And I think my mom took him to get him declawed, which of course nowadays you're not supposed to do that because you leave them helpless if they're outside. And then we took in a cat that we found outside. We named him Smokey. It was two male cats. I don't think she got them fixed. I don't think she did. She was literally more worried about getting them declawed because I think Smokey went in and got declawed as well. And I don't know, like after maybe a year and a half, came home from school one day and my mom had said the cats were gone, that animal control came and got them or something like that. I always just assumed that she kicked the cats out. I always just assumed that she opened the back door and threw them out. Um, Never saw them again. Never saw them again. Not to be gross. I mean, they could have been dealt with, if you know what I mean. And yeah, I'm saying that. Because I remember she said that animal control came and got them, but then like months later, she had made a comment. My mom made a comment to my brother about, oh, they're down at the neighbors. The neighbors took them in, like some house down the street. Like I saw them in the neighbor's window. They're living with the neighbors. I don't think so. I think she either kicked him out the back door or she took care of them. One or the other. And it's funny because when it happened as a kid, when she told my brother and I when we came home from school, I did not believe a word she said. As most often was the case with my mother. Anywho. Anywho. I think I'm gonna leave this here because I'm just picking up on other messages, not necessarily anything having to do with this. But I mean, I don't like if this resonates for you, kudos, because I was just one last thing before I let it go. Like I was just thinking about this today at work because I was talking to a friend this morning about some of the other people in the department. And of course, the guy that I was in love with last year was picking next to her, and I mouthed off and I said something about someone else, and I'm pretty sure he was listening. In the overall scheme of things, I don't really care. I'm not friends with these people anymore. I have to work with them, but I'm not friends with them, and I don't have to talk to them if I don't want to. If it's work related, yes, I will, but I have no desire to chit chat with anybody or any one of them, honestly. So, but I was at my station in the afternoon before we left, and I kept thinking, um, like in the overall scheme of things in my life, like I've had my heart broken many times, and not just lovers, family, friends, things like that. Other types of relationship issues. I've had my heart broken many times. And I just kept thinking, and I kept having this thought all afternoon. So maybe this resonates. I just kept thinking, what? Because I had a broken heart, like my world is supposed to stop? Because this is basically saying, like, yeah, you might open your heart to the wrong person and you might lose that relationship in that person. It didn't work out, but that's the way it was always supposed to happen. Because somebody's going to transmute that energy and turn it into positive energy. And it's going to work out for them. Like, it's going to propel them forward. And when I was thinking about, like, oh, heartache is supposed to stop me from doing what I need to do, I literally thought back throughout my whole life and just realized, like, it never really has. It never really has. Like, I always moved on with my life. I always did the things that I was working on. I always continued to, like, build for myself, whatever that meant at the time, right? Because back in the day, it wasn't really spirituality, like thinking about other things, doing other things with my life. Now it's very different. But I never really let the heartbreak get to me. And that's not to say that I didn't deal with it. I dealt with it and I continue to deal with it, right? Healing is a lifelong journey, but I never really let it stop me for anything. I think the only thing that I ever really let stop me was loss, like loss of a loved one. And even then, like, I kept moving. Like, I think I told you guys this once before. Like, when my aunt passed away, and my cousin passed away first, her daughter, and then she passed away a little more than a year later. I'm pretty sure I went through like a 2 year ish depressive state where I just felt like I was going through the motions. And I realized it when I was in it, and I just let it happen. I just wallowed in it, I guess you would say. I just felt like I needed to. I felt like I needed to. Like, losing my cousin and my aunt at the time was just, it was horrible. Um like, they were very much a part of my life for most of my life growing up. And it wasn't until I was probably like in my 30s and I met the ex-husband and I got married and that I kind of moved away from that because I was busy, with my family, his family. I didn't really have time for like the extended family, like my aunt, and uncle because she was married. So now it's just my one cousin left, my one female cousin left. The aunt and uncle are gone. The older cousin is gone, and the youngest cousin is gone. She's the only one left, and I don't even really talk to her that often. And I understand why. Like back in the day, there was a rift between our families, between our mothers, and some stuff going on in the background there. So I understand why she wouldn't want to have anything to do with me or my brother or my dad. Um, it's sad, it's sad, but it is what it is. I don't feel bad about it towards her or anything. She's got to do what she's got to do. She has her own family. She's got 2 kids, and she's with her second husband and has been for a while. And, they seem happy. And I'm happy for her. I don't think until I got on my own healing journey, I realized what went on in her family went on in my family. And her and I have a lot in common in regards to that. I didn't really recognize that until like the last year or two. So I do not at all fault her for keeping her distance. She should keep her distance, like she's protecting her boundaries. Kudos to her. Um, but anyway, the whole thing with the heartbreak, like, I never really let heartbreak keep me from moving forward. And I feel like that resonates for somebody here, hopefully. All right, I'm going to leave it there. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you were entertained. I hope you all have a fabulous evening. Just letting you guys know, tomorrow is Wednesday. I will get up and do affirmations. I will probably not be doing readings tomorrow. I'm not too sure what time I'm getting home. The ex-husband and he's taking me out on a little day trip for my birthday. I asked him if he wanted to go do something with me, and he's like, yeah, let's go do that. That would be cool. So we're going to be out for the day. Um, I'm probably not going to want to do readings in the evening. I'm just being honest. Unless for some reason, like, I absolutely feel the need to, like, um, I feel the calling. I probably won't. Usually God is pretty nice to me on those things. Like he doesn't like when he knows I'm taking a day off, he knows I'm taking a day off, so he usually lets me be, but you never know. Again, I hope everybody has a good night, and I'll talk to you later.